Says we're live. So let me just say, here with Elldwnia English, who is running for Congress, and my good friend Natasha K. And I just always like to start off these discussions by just saying thank you for running, and thank you, Elldwnia, for talking to just a regular person like me and a regular person like Natasha. Everybody's fed up with a government where the people just refuse to talk to us. And I
Yeah.
started this a year and a half ago, trying to reach out to representatives currently in office, the same ones who failed to use the power we gave them after the 2020 election to stop the mess we're in right now. So I'm
Mhm.
in support of a new generation of leadership, and I'm excited to hear what you have to say. So go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
So, hello. Thank you so much, Walter. Thank you. I really appreciate you having me on your show. I am Elldwnia English. I am a democratic socialist. I am a foundational Black American. Um, I am running because I'm just a regular person. I am a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a businesswoman, and I have to deal with the bullshit just like everybody else.
Yeah.
So when Trump won again, it really put a fire in my ass, and I was like, okay,
I would say put it in quotes.
nobody's coming to save us, right? But also nobody's coming to stop us. So I
Mm,
decided to run.
awesome. Natasha, do you have anything to get started with?
Yeah, so I'm very excited that, we have the opportunity to have you here. I think it's really important to get visibility to all of our
Kitty
progressive,
cat. Yeah.
sorry about that.
That's all right. That's all right.
Trying to get visibility to all of our progressive candidates. And one thing that immediately caught my eye was that you consider yourself a democratic socialist. Just curious, were you endorsed by the DSA, and what got you to this point? Have you always been a democratic socialist, and what do you think about socialism would be beneficial for the United States?
So I've always been a socialist. I was a socialist before it had a name. I've been a socialist a long time ago. So for me, as a 30-year military spouse, I live in socialism, right? I live with free healthcare. I live with free education. And I know that it helps everyone if they have free healthcare, free education. One of the biggest things here in our state in Maryland, I don't know anybody who has the amount of taxes that we do. And we don't have free health care, free childcare. The kids in our school aren't having free lunch. There is a lot of things that I want to change in our state, and I'll start with my district. And I believe that wherever you start, it can spread. I feel like love is infectious and it spreads. Um, so that's how I feel about socialism. Um, I also wanted to initiate change because as a person who has only been on the receiving side of politics, I said, why don't we, the people, go in there and do something? You know, someone without a political background, someone without a political family, someone who is not endorsed by anybody. I don't take endorsements from anybody. I don't take it from anybody. I feel like when you get a job, if the people hire you, you work for everybody. It's not Republican, it's not Democrat, it's not moderate, it's not independent. When the people put you in office, you don't have a side. I mean, I know what I feel in my heart and my soul, but when the people put me in office, that's who I work for. Um, I also want to be a change maker that impact the youth. Young people are our bread and butter, and they're always overlooked. They're always the ones that carry the entire burden of everything that we do. So instead of us shoveling shit to these kids from now
Yes.
on, we need to change. It's us, even though it is my parents' fault and our generation. They're now taking the blame, like, okay, it was us. But, it was also my generation, it was Gen X too, because we could have stood up more. But, I'm not really into pass and blame. I'm into in
Yes.
acting change, So right now, the change is I want young people to be the biggest part of the process moving forward. Everybody that I'm hiring is in high school, are about to be out of high school, just graduating. My entire team are children. I
Nice.
am ran by all kids, like high schoolers, people
Yeah.
who are undecided and going to college. They are on my team. They're telling me what to say. They actually got me off of X because I was going crazy on X.
Oh,
Oh,
you're much
They
better
got
off
me
here.
off
them. Yeah.
Cause yeah, I was like having a field day with Republicans and conservatives. So they was like, no, 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 don't fuck
You're
with
not
it
the
no
only
more.
one.
And so and they got me off of X. I'm back on X, but I have one of them run the account. So they're actually, you know, way calmer than I am. And right now, a lot of the things that I do, a lot of my initiatives are just with kids. A lot of my meetups are just with kids, older people, grown-ups, you know what you want.
Yeah.
You know who you are, you
Yeah.
know what you want, but the kids don't.
Yeah.
And so that is literally my bread and butter.
I think that's absolutely fantastic, and a lot of why we're in this problem today is because we've been coerced into thinking we don't have any power. People
Yeah.
are limiting themselves from speaking out. They're limiting themselves from participating. I've seen so many people because this whole platform didn't exist. I wasn't talking to people like this 2 years ago. Everything is just being created because everybody's like fed up. We need to change.
Yeah.
And as I said, the Democratic establishment is not talking to people. They'll go on to far right wing podcasts, but they
Yes,
won't
they will.
legitimize me. And so we can win back all these districts. And I've been talking to so many candidates, many of them who have felt pressure from the DNC to drop out because the DNC doesn't understand the value of canvassing a district and doing exactly what you're doing, getting the young people to get excited and canvassing a district, being in the primaries, that gives you name recognition, and elections continue. I mean, we have to have a perspective that goes for 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years.
That's
And
right.
these kids that you're getting excited about now, they're like, okay, win or lose. Now I know this process. Now I
Right.
can file, ideas. I can run in the next election. And by doing that, that constant activism, because so many people do feel hopeless. They feel as if their votes don't matter and they feel to the point where they're not even allowed to express themselves and talk about the things that worry them. So you're
Mhm.
empowering a lot of people just by running. I applaud you for it, and I'm thanking you
Thank
because we need it.
you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just wanna say too, I think I it warms my heart to hear that you're bringing all kids into this
Yes.
because I don't know anybody else that's doing that, and that's one thing that the Democratic Party lacks is
Oh,
that's something that the Republican Party is good at, is bringing in young folks to see how the process works, to mentor them. Democrats don't mentor young people. They are only interested in holding onto their seats. We're
Yeah.
not going to get anywhere by doing that. Like, you are giving kids, you know, the ability to believe that they can do these things by putting them in a position. And I mean, this is a big role, helping to manage a campaign. That's a lot of
mhm.
responsibility, and for them to take that up and excitedly, I think it's going to give them so much, belief in their own power.
Yeah.
And God, I love that. I really love that. That's so important.
Thank
That
you.
alone is really important. So I love that. I
Yeah.
just want to say that.
I thank you, Natasha. I really appreciate that. Um, One of the biggest aspects of my campaign is disabled children and those who don't have a voice, like physically don't have a voice, the autistic children,
Mhm.
children who are just mute, blind children, and the elderly.
Mhm.
A lot of people don't understand that there is an entire community of people out there that have no one. And when you get in these positions, you forget about them. It's
Yeah.
so easy to forget about them. The first endorsement that I had wanted me to campaign for like something with the DNC, and my first question was like, "Hey, what do we do for disabled children?"
Mm.
Like, "Oh, that's something you can bring up." Well, I am a regular person. You should have brought it up. You
Yeah.
Mhm.
know, if my first thought are the disabled children, if my first thought are the elderly, if my first thought are the people that don't have a voice, why am I a regular smegular person bringing this up to you,
Mhm.
who
The
are
first
a
one.
multi-billionaire company,
Mhm.
right? So the DNC has nothing to do with me. I don't speak for the DNC. I am running for Congress. I am a Democrat. I am a socialist. My campaign is for the children. My campaign is for the disabled. My campaign is for the elderly. I am the underdog running for all the other underdogs out there because I know what it was like to not have a voice. I know what it was like to be a military spouse and I wasn't able to say anything. I wasn't able to express myself. I wasn't able to do a lot of things that regular people do. You know, I have disabled children, and a lot of the things in the school system everything everybody do is political, by the way.
Right.
You living, you existing, everything you do is political. I unfortunately was born one of the most political figures in America, a Black woman, you know? So I'm not championing that as with a hero complex. I'm championing that as a person who do not want other people to feel the way that I do every single day. And how do I do that? How do I get to everybody? Everybody's going to be okay. But the disabled children, the autistic children, the children on the spectrum, the mute children, the physically disabled, and the elderly that are being neglected every single
Mhm.
day, nobody's ever going to speak for them. Nobody's ever going to champion them. So I decided that's my mantle. Even though it's overlooked, underfunded, nobody cares, that's still what I
Oh, thank
champion.
goodness. Thank goodness you're speaking. Thank goodness for you're speaking for that group, and it seemed like Natasha had some things to say too.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm getting a bit emotional because my whole thing is, giving a voice to people who aren't heard, and, those groups, disabled are, suffering
Yeah.
greatly from the policies that have been implemented and enacted by this regime,
Yeah.
and there's not a lot of people talking about uh, disabilities and disabled people and marginalized people and the effects of what the funding from healthcare, how that's going to um, be to their detriment as far as getting the medical equipment
Right.
and things like that they need. And then on top of that, you have the demolishing of the education system where public education is our kids are doing worse overall, declining because they actually don't put money into public education because they don't want children to be smart. And taking that money away for programs such as, having paras and things like that coming to the schools and having behavioral health and mental health and those types of things for children with disabilities when those things are already lacking. I have my son is autistic as well, and it's so hard to find even schools that really take it seriously. I'm sure you've been through those things, 504 plans and trying to get IEPs and jumping through hoops and things like that. So imagine those things being taken away from them when they're already not really being seen and heard. And so that's extremely crucial. And then you saying that, yeah, you've been a military spouse. I also was a military spouse for about 10 years. So I'm pretty familiar with the yeah, kind of moving around every few years. I'm not sure uh if yours what if it's Army, Navy,
Air
Air
Force,
Force. Okay.
I've moved 20 times in 30 years.
Whew.
Yeah. So you've been around, you've got that lived experience, and I'm sure you have seen, not just in Maryland, but everywhere that you've been, the neglect of our infrastructure and our systems across all of the states as I've
Absolutely.
seen as well.
It's
So
broken throughout the entire United States of
yeah.
America.
And then also, what is the system like for military children? Because I don't think a lot of people understand that military bases, a lot of children and families who live on the base, they have schools on the bases. And what is that education like? Is that like a standard public education? And um, how are the base military installation schools and programs being affected by what the U.S. regime has been, dismantling since they came back into power.
So the first people that are denied services are military.
Mm,
They take it from the military first, and then everybody else. So we're the guinea pigs for everything. Because we can't fight back, right?
mhm.
So there's nobody to fight for the military. I'm here. I will fight
Thank
tooth and
goodness.
nail, and I don't give up.
Yeah,
Um,
good.
so one of the biggest things I suggested, one, teachers need to be making doctor pay. Let's
Yes.
start there. If you're building our futures, you're dealing with the heart. You are dealing with the mechanics. You are dealing with everything else. You are dealing with the problematics, the children. You see the sped before anybody else. You are
Right.
the one that have to tell parents, hey, I want to gently tell you, you may want to get your child tested for autism.
Mhm.
They need to be making doctor pay for that. If you're
Absolutely.
taking care of our most precious asset, you
Absolutely.
need to be making doctor pay.
Mhm.
And secondly, children shouldn't be worried about eating at school. We are the only first world country to
Mhm.
pay the amount of taxes that we pay, and that our children have to worry about eating at school. One, not only should they have free lunch, they should be taking food home. All these
That part.
businesses around here, all these corporations, you can choose a corporation. A corporation can choose a school, and um, feed the children for an entire decade, honestly. We're right here with all the tech companies. All they're doing is taking from the community and giving nothing back. I want to change that. I want to be a policymaker for good. I want to make sure that our children see that you can be a mom. I've had to get out of the saying that I'm just a nobody, I'm voiceless, this, that, and the third, to being like, look, I'm a taxpayer. I pay for all of this. I
Mhm.
pay for all of this.
Yeah.
This is all my stuff. And making sure that children also carry that too. Like, look, if you're paying for candy, if you're paying for food, if you hear your mom and dad arguing over bills, you're paying for all this. You have a voice. This is your voice. This is your world. When I'm gone, when I'm dead and gone, this is your world. You got to make sure that it's still standing. You got to fix a lot of the stuff that was broken. So, making sure that the kids that don't have any functional needs are going to always be okay. The children, like here in our state, one of the things that I would love to create is a homeless shelter for a disabled homeless shelter,
Mhm.
because as you know, all homeless shelters are overran, right? But like for the winter time and the summertime, one of the worst things I've ever saw, we have camps over here. We have tent camps, and it is full of disabled people.
Mm.
For some reason, the greatest people in our county are all homeless, right? They're all the most caring, loving people in our county. And they'll go find the disabled kid that is thrown out of an orphanage, right? Whose mom died, who
Mm. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, and this
I
is
have got to stop crying. They said there's no crying in
No, no, it's
oh, I think there needs to be more, and I appreciate
people want to see
It needs to
No,
be. There needs to be. We
there
need to
needs to
have
be, and
humanity.
it's
Exactly.
well,
This is
it's
exactly
so
what we need. We need
yeah,
humanity. We need people that care. We need people that respect human life. People
Right.
that
yeah,
speak up for people that are nonverbal. I mean,
yeah,
we see all the
Exactly.
people that are, and who's defending them now? And this government, all it does is
Exactly.
blowing up schools. It's killing kids. It's spending billions to round up little kids, taking them to their parents.
And
And
it's a
I appreciate
circle.
your emotion.
Yeah, it's a circle. Like, where do we start? We start everywhere. We start everywhere. I can run for Congress and I can have an arm over here in the
mhm,
homeless population. I can have arm over here in the disabled population. I can have an arm over here in kids that are being bullied who feel like they're going to shoot up a school because they don't come to school thinking that way. Something has happened to those children, right? Whose parents are about to die. And the worst thing a parent who has a disabled child is to think that there's not going to be anybody to take care of them when they're gone.
Mm, mm, mhm.
I am blessed that I procreated and I try to procreate the entire world. So my kids have enough siblings. If anything ever happens to me and their dad, that they have each other, right? But there's not a lot of families like that. There is a mom that had cancer. She has an autistic child who's nonverbal, level 3,
mhm,
nonverbal, right? And her biggest fear, she's going to die. Nobody is going to care about that baby.
Mm,
And I said, I'm going to adopt him. I'm going to take him with me and I'm going to love him like you would. So
yeah.
it needs to be all of us. Like, y'all
Community.
got me emotional.
Yes. Emotions.
Oh
Like
my
you said,
goodness.
don't
yeah,
apologize. We want to see it, and the people in the chat are loving you. And I've cried a lot of tears. My wife is an immigrant from Peru, and these
Yeah.
constant attacks. I mean, the constant aggressions against our kids. I've been afraid. We had, and I just was talking with Emily Berge, who's running for Congress here. A couple months ago, ICE was rumored to be coming to our district, and I kept my kids home. I'm
mm,
not going to have them. And I
yeah.
called her up, and she's a city council person, and yeah, I feel the same things. We worry about you wanna
And
who's gonna
that's
be for
another
our kids?
conversation we got to go into. ICE.
Right.
Yes,
That's
but
another
I
one.
mean but this society
It's
this
good
society
enough.
this society is so cruel, and there is no
Yeah.
benefit, and all they do is they keep stripping away more and more, and they just turn around and take all of the money from all of our labor, and they give it to billionaires. I call it
Yeah.
billionaire where I mean, people complain about socialism. We live in oligarch socialism because all the
Exactly.
billionaires get all the free money. Like, why don't we get to just lay off, let us work and take care of our kids and, like, keep some of the things that we make, and then they turn around and claim that we're not hardworking enough. And yeah, we're all stretched to the limit, and we're
Yeah,
all
it's
afraid for
bullshit.
our kids right now. Yeah, it is.
They would
And
be
it's
nowhere without us. They can't
they
do anything for themselves.
they
We
know it, and they're
own
afraid, and they try to
this.
hurt us.
This is
We're
our
literally the
country. You know
engine
what I
that
mean?
keeps everything running.
Yes.
Yes. I
All
let
of
me just
us.
and let me just say to all the people in the chat too. I mean, we this is exactly what we're trying to change because we can't have these kind of conversations on the mainstream media. Even like the journalists who come to Substack, they don't have conversations like this. So it's up to the wonderful people here, the grassroots movement. But please share this conversation. Share Elldwnia's page. Actually, let's do that and say where are you
Yeah.
running from and where can people find you? That's a good moment for that.
So I am in the beautiful Southern Maryland, District 5, and I am running for the people. We have had, I don't know if you know Steny Hoyer. He is one of the longest running congressmen in American history. He
Mhm.
has been in Congress 45 or 47 years now.
It's
Yeah.
insane.
Since before
I
the
mean,
8 track, right? Yeah.
Congress is nothing more than you know what? I'm
Yeah.
not gonna say it,
These
It's
guys
but
who
okay.
can't I'd say these
Yeah,
guys who can't attach a document to an email and that because technology they don't understand. Yeah, there
that
you go. There you go.
that part.
The 8 track, they're like, ooh, 8 track. They still have them, Yeah. I'm
yeah,
sorry. Keep going. I was
no, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. I did, I got a lot of people in my district. I don't want to keep running my mouth because I have a bad habit of saying the wrong thing.
Let's
Um,
speak the truth.
Find that hard
Speak
to
the truth,
believe.
please. We need the truth. We need it.
uh, so one of my biggest fear has always been my biggest fears is, and why I didn't think I was going to be a good candidate, because I've never been taught how to speak to people. I have never been like an open speaker, I've never been in front of big groups and, I talk to moms, and teachers and just the mom world. I'm just heavy in the mom world. And I was like, how is a mother who's gonna listen to a mom? And then I was like, well, maybe everybody that's ever had one,
Yeah.
you know? So maybe there's room for us here.
Make them listen is what I keep saying.
Yeah.
We need that perspective. We do.
Yeah. So someone asked, what counties do you cover? So I believe I have 36 counties
Oh.
from Prince George
Oh,
to St. Mary's.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have a lot of counties.
Hmm. I think you're doing wonderful. I think
yeah.
I think
You.
we don't need polish. I think we need people speaking with integrity instead of these polished corporate entities. And I think that's a strength. I think it's, and judging from the heart and the way people are responding, I mean, it's, Congress 2026, presidency 2028. How about that?
Yes.
Your lips to God's ear.
Well, yeah, let's have a country where we just care about everybody, and
Wouldn't
because the
that be
amount of money we're
something?
just burning, and
Look,
they're getting all that money from cutting all these benefit programs that are if they
I
haven't hurt
have
you yet, they will.
I have
Mhm.
said that if I were ever president of the United States of America, everything will change.
Same.
Everything. It
Yeah.
will be the complete opposite of what Trump did.
Whew.
One, Iran, Canada, none of this would have happened.
Yeah, Venezuela. Yeah, all of it, everything.
I was just like, oh, Lord, I, that's a whole nother
So you've
conversation.
thought about it
Yeah, do it.
because you're capable of it.
Yes.
Congress.
Yeah, I mean, let's start slow, but don't rule that out.
How
Don't
many
rule it out.
how many people are in your primary?
33.
I mean,
Wow.
really? 33 candidates are running?
Yeah,
Holy
33
smokes.
candidates.
Well,
Wow.
Substack's got to
We
do
have
its
a
magic.
lot of good people, though. I mean, I'm not a person to put down other people. We have a lot of great people running. So, I know a lot of
That's
them,
good
and
to
they're
know.
really good people. You won't go wrong. I promise you. Whoever you choose, you're not going to go wrong.
That's good
And
to know. That's
wow.
Yeah.
comforting to know. But how can we help support? Like, what are you in need of right now? Do you need volunteers for your campaign? Where can we donate? All of that
So,
stuff.
thank you for asking. So, I don't take campaign donations from
Ooh,
anybody.
wow. None at
I
all.
am
Oh, just
no
strictly.
campaign funding,
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
none at all.
So
Um,
can I
and you
ask?
have to be under 18 to be on my campaign.
I love it.
So okay, can I ask? Is there
Yeah.
is there a fee to run for Congress in Maryland? I
Yeah.
assume.
It's $100 to run. So,
That's it.
I'm fine. I think 125, I believe.
Okay. Maybe
Yeah.
it's I was just looking at the I think it was Delaware's and I thought it said 3,000, but maybe that was Senate or maybe it was somewhere else. I don't know.
Wow.
Okay, so that's I was gonna say how how do you $100 is manageable. So
Yeah. So I
oh,
pay for
okay.
everything on my campaign. And
Uh-huh.
because everybody that is working with me are children, you know, all I ask
Oh
is you
my
feed your
goodness.
children. That's all I ask. I'll bring them water, and I'll have some snacks and stuff like that. But I'm trying to teach the youth that you don't need money. And also
Mhm.
I want to change that because donors and PACs create another issue,
Wow. Yeah.
because then you have to have loyalty. You can't say what you want to say. You have to work for whoever's paying you.
Mhm.
And so, I want that to change. I want them to know that if you go in there hungry, if you go in there and actually want to enact change, you won't take a penny from anybody and you'll be ready to go to work. The day that you step up ready to go to work, you'll be ready to go to work.
I just wanna say too, and somebody just mentioned in the comments, like, my kids know social media better than I ever will. It still
Yeah.
seems like a and it's just like, you they might you might have it just like this unbelievable advantage because what kids can do, like, the way they're just so fluent. But I wanna
Yeah.
ask though too, because an issue I think is important. The reality is with all these algorithms that dominate social media, we know there's all these mental health issues that come from that. Our Congress
Mhm.
doesn't understand it. And as an
Of
educator,
course they don't.
yeah. Well, and it's it's the bot comments, it's all the hate comments and all and
Mhm.
but more than that, we see just in the regular media, they don't ever interview experts anymore. They interview some sanitized version and these people always get it wrong because they're not talking directly to people that know anything.
Yeah.
And, I mean, as an educator, we celebrate when it's like, okay, a ban on cell phones, but it's like that's still poison. And the second they leave my classroom, they're still grabbing poison and putting it in front of their face. And I would just like Congress to be involved with changing some algorithm regulation. That's what I'm getting to, where we actually promote positive content and content of merit. And it's like people have been saying, well, it's private sector. And it's like we regulate cars, we regulate alcohol. If stuff is
Yeah.
dangerous to our kids, like these algorithms that promote false content and lies, they make body shaming issues and bullying. We should be able to change it. So, what are your thoughts on that?
So do you know how old the average congressperson is?
Oh gosh, yeah. Well, do we? I
So
can't. Yeah,
they don't even understand what you're saying. They wouldn't even understand this conversation that we're having.
That's a
And
problem.
also, this everything is ran by oligarchs. So we have to take the power from the oligarchs and make sure that they understand that we could have had this. I think under President Obama, he saw this coming and he tried to regulate it. And once Trump came in, it was all out the window.
yeah.
And it was like a speeding train. It was just too far gone. It is, and a lot of people will say that I'm not too far gone. I would go back, I would ban most of Russia. Because a lot of that comes from them, South Africa, anywhere that there are bots, absolute full ban. Every other country does it. They do not allow what we
Wow.
allow. We as Americans have to get on the program and start we're not regulating anything, we're banning it. The same if it's in my house and America is my house. If it's in my house and it's not going to help my kids, it's not going to be here. So when I say there's not going to be any more bots, there's not going to be any more regulations that are not helping you, it has to end. It all has to end. It's not, "Oh, well, we have to see how this go and funding
Yeah.
for this." I don't care about any of that. End it today. I am
Yes.
all about ending the bots. They are absolute bane. They have caused destruction, death, irregulations in countries. Absolute ending it.
Beautiful. Perfect. I'll turn it over to Natasha. I'm just sitting here absorbing all this wonderful information.
No, it's great. When is your race? When is the election? And what do people have to do? And again, I know you said that you're only hiring, or taking help from under 18s, but is there anything that we can do? Just
So
spread.
I do also take help from disabled adults,
Okay.
especially if you have autism. I will absolutely, you don't even have to ask, you're on a team.
Awesome.
Um, Neurodivergent people, absolutely on a team. Elderly
Awesome.
people, absolutely on a team. Um, so that's my whole team right there. That's my whole team. Um, How you
And
can help is just spread the word. That's all I'm not putting out campaign posters, any of that stuff,
yeah,
because it's all this stuff is old school stuff.
right.
And I'd like to it's honestly to me it's white supremacy tactics. How things used to be is spread the word. I came from a time, I mean, I'm not that old, but I remember when I was younger, it was spread the word. That's how people got on to doing a lot of stuff, right? So right now it is spread the word, spread the word, spread the word. Talk about me, share. You know, you can go to my campaign and see the things that I am for. And I want to go over a few things that I am for. So I am for hold on, let me pull it up really quick because I misspeak because I talk too fast.
Oh, yeah, I know the feeling.
I'll go into a tandy, baby. Look, I will go into a tandy. Let me pull up
You're
because
so
I know I
inspiring, though.
said
This
something one time and it was
oh,
like that's not on your
I
not
got
on your campaign.
you.
I was like, man,
You're
God.
so inspiring, though. I just wanna say as you look for that, I'm just so delighted by this and this idea. It's such a story, and, you're so right. This idea of just taking back our but practicing, what we wanna see and bringing young people involved and getting them more I mean, that's the type of thing that can but it's gonna take a grassroots effort, and I keep throwing it
It
back at the
does.
people in the chat. I mean, and a lot of people do feel so disempowered right now, but just
Mhm.
your shares and talking about these things, and everybody here could write a story about this and mention it that way. I mean, that's all these ways that we can help. But this idea of getting
Yeah,
kids involved, turning our government back over to them, like we're stewards of our government. We don't own our government, our this it's a
absolutely.
privilege to have power. It's not our right, and we have to help people going forward.
Absolutely.
So everything you're saying is so great. I love it. Sorry
And
about my
and I
language.
know no, you're totally fine. And I know a lot of people, um, like what's going on right now where they're talking about there's not black people out in a protest. I just want to bring that up really quick. You're able to protest now because black people are not in your
Mhm.
protest. Do you know what a nightmare it would be if I want to say 10 black people were out there? You're able to protest because we're sitting home. And that is the truth. We live in America,
Mhm.
you know? Because if when 10 people, 10 black people, 10 people that look like me go out and protest, there are police everywhere. They bring out SWAT, they bring out
Mhm.
dogs. So I want people to stop asking why black people have stopped. What there's a plethora of reasons why we are not going out to protest, but the main one is because your safety depends on us not being there, unfortunately. A lot of that is your safety depends on us not being there. But I want to go into some of the things that I'm for, okay? We're up and down, okay? Up and down. The kids got me this way, by the way. It's like having 100 different conversations at once. Happy, sad, crying.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so I am pro union. I've always been pro union, always will be pro union. I have worked at on military bases and I have worked for the BX and absolutely will always be pro union. I'm pro raising military and veterans pay. There's no way you get guns at your head and you're not starting off your contract at $75,000. Doesn't make sense to me.
Mhm.
Um, pro universal health care. Our ancestors have paid enough
Mm.
that we all deserve health care by now. The doctors got enough money, I promise you. They are fine. I'm pro tuition free public college and trade school. We make enough money that college should be free. I am pro reproductive health care access, of course. I mean, of course I'm pro that. Pro disability rights and caregiver support. Um, Caregivers are not given the pedestal that they need. They're not given the support that they need, and they're not given the financial resources that they need.
Yeah.
So that's one of my biggest supports right there. I'm pro LGBT plus and equal protection. I'm pro child welfare reform. It is absolutely a scam. Our child welfare system here is nothing more than a market for pedophiles.
Mhm.
I'm pro maternal health equity. Instead of worrying about women having abortions, why don't we take care of the pregnant women? Why don't we have free childcare? Why don't we have free kindergarten, free preschool, and encourage women to actually, why don't we give women that are pregnant a stipend so that they can carry children?
Mhm.
Because we're down and we need to give something to women to make them want to be mothers. Because right now they can't afford to.
Mhm.
Right.
Um, I'm pro immigration reform with oversight, which means I'm anti ICE, basically. Pro ending unauthorized wars. We all call this. I mean,
Mhm.
Mhm.
nothing
Pro legality.
is we all call this. This is like the
Yeah.
most seeable thing in the future. I'm pro corporate accountability, pro infrastructure investment. I'm
Yes.
anti APAC. I'm anti Israel, anti ICE. I'm America first. This means I stand with workers. I stand with service members, families, students, caregivers, veterans, small business, and the everyday American. So just in case, I want you to know where I stand. You know, everybody don't have to agree with everything that I do, but this is where I stand.
Beautiful. I love it. I'm so happy. I'm just sitting here being happy. This has been I saw Will Fullwood entered in my chat. He'll wanna talk to you, I'm sure, but just because 'cause you're fantastic, and I'm just,
Oh,
I appreciate you.
thank you.
Thoughts, Natasha?
Yeah, no, I'm really excited, and I know I keep harping on this, but I just want to make sure that, like, anybody that can help, that is able to help can. So I'm sure, I
Yes.
assume a lot of this work can be done, from home, remotely.
Yeah.
So people,
Yeah.
you don't have to be in Maryland necessarily to help volunteer. Okay,
Absolutely. And I'll do interviews with anyone. If you just want a one-on-one interview and just talk
perfect.
to me,
Oh,
I do that. I'm at home. I can do that. I have a business. It's called Katorpia Kids Jobs. So I am employing all the children, all the disabled children, and giving caregivers a break. And so, I do a lot of that with kids, but for the most part, you can talk to me. I'm very easy to talk to, you know. I'm a mom, so I don't pretend I know everything. I don't pretend to know any and everything, but I will look it up and I'll give you an answer, but I will talk to anybody.
From a
that's good.
story I was just gonna say from a storytelling perspective, what you're doing is so just beautiful, and I mean, and we can educating young people on how to participate in this democracy is just so vital. I was just thinking we should have some of the people working for you, they could be writing articles here on Substack that we could share, and doing
Yeah.
things that way where we're just like keep the and people are gonna wanna talk to you, and the more we can get the word out, you're gonna get a copy of this video, you'll be able to take
Thank
clips of this
you.
video, it'll be in your drafts.
Mhm.
There's a tool in
Okay.
there, you can make clips, you can share it to socials, and this message that you're saying, it's bigger than the primary you're in, and every one of those kids you're working with, they're bigger than they're bigger than the primary, they're bigger than the midterms, they're bigger than the whole election. And so
Yeah.
every
Yeah.
bit of work we're doing right now, shining a light on these ideas is vital. And it gets started like this. All the people listening in who can share these things. This is what our conversations can be like in our government. We don't have to live like we're living right now, right? We can have
Yeah.
No, we
conversations
don't.
like this all the time. Our kids can be empowered and protected and participating. You were saying
Yeah.
before, like attacking the younger generations. I raised the younger generation. I think they're better people than I am because I raised them. And people that bash the younger generations, they're just showing themselves as being a bad parent, is what I think. And
Mhm.
I couldn't be prouder. And what you're doing, it makes me happy. And I didn't expect to feel like this right now. So I thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. No, it's been really heartwarming. It's been really, refreshing. You got me crying, but this is all of the things that you were saying, and um, just trying to be a voice for people that aren't able to speak, and realizing the detrimental effects that this government and regime are doing right now to those very people. Those are the ones that are the most vulnerable, that are the most susceptible to trafficking, to harm. And
And that was the first people he attacked.
right, right. So what you're doing is very important. And Jason asked, where can he sign up to volunteer? I posted your website.
Yeah.
Is that where people can go to
Yeah,
find more information?
absolutely.
Okay.
And if
Okay.
you have a kid in the district or go online, just spread
Yep.
the word. That's pretty much all you could do. Like I said, I don't put up signs. I don't do phone calls. I don't do anything. I like to physically talk to people. I'm doing old school grassroots campaigning, so I want people to physically be able to talk to me, have a conversation with me. Um, Starting next week, I am going to a cafe down in our little area to have a sit down so people can come out and talk to me throughout our entire district. I'm putting it on my campaign, a calendar where I'll be at. Come and sit down. You want to buy me? People love spending money in a time where we have no money.
Yeah.
So buy
It's
me
true.
some Starbucks,
Yeah.
if I have a kid with me, buy them something to eat, but yeah, sit down, talk to me. I want to make sure that people tell me the issues that they have. Like, I'm getting right now, some people are like hands down believing that I'm going to win this whole thing, right? So they're already sending me buckets of issues to handle. And I'm telling them, you actually have a paid candidate right now in office. Send this to them. He's like, well,
Mhm.
he didn't do anything for the whole 40 years he was there. He doesn't understand what I'm saying. I was like, okay. So,
Yeah, they don't
just
talk to
as
you.
a civilian right now, I'm handling a few things, but um I am I am willing to talk to anybody. I'm willing to sit down and chat. And even if you're not in our district, I'll come to Delaware, I'll go to Virginia, because everybody has a voice, everybody has an opinion, everybody has a life. And even if you just are a talker and you just want someone to talk to, you can talk to me. I'm a great listener, you know?
I
Yeah. That transparency is so important, and everybody's craving that right now. So the fact that you're putting yourself out there and wanting people to come to you is uh, whatever the opposite, a green flag.
yeah.
Green
Green
You
flag.
flag,
know,
thank you.
so I just want you to know that. And then also, um, darn, I was going to say something to you, but now I can't remember what it was. Darn it. I'll let Walter, if he had something
And
to say.
I just was gonna say it's one of the main things that this control mechanism we're under. They're scared. What we are living beneath is a regime of fear because they know that we have plenty of power to topple this and to have a better society. I mean, this is why they're trying to rig elections with the Save Act. They do everything that they can. And it's bullying on so many levels, voting roll purges, all that. But in addition to that, they don't want us to know that it doesn't take any money to run for office. You know,
Exactly.
you can just sign up. And I mean, that's all hidden. And we're made to believe. I lived a lot of my life just believing all this stuff was for a class that I didn't belong to, you
I
know?
did too.
Yes. And
I did
just
too.
you opening eyes that way all across this
Yes.
nation. We're seeing that movement happen now. How they've managed to coerce us into this cage where we just submit to this abuse and all we have to do is push open the door and walk out. It
Mhm.
really is much, and I'm not trying to minimize the threat of what we're up against because it's big, but the solution is getting every single person and the face-to-face conversations is the best way and just convince them. All you have to do is step right out and be
Mhm.
active and speak your truth and embrace your power because we do have that power. And what
Mhm.
you're doing is such a stunning way of drawing attention to that reality. And it's bigger than this primary. We'll see what happens. Maybe 50 years from now, there'll be 100 kids that participated in your
Oh,
campaign, and they will all be members of Congress. Maybe that's what we're going to look at, and then we'll be
yeah,
and you'll just look at that. That's planting the seed for the tree, even though you'll never sit in its shade, type of thing. And I
that's
think that
right.
you're living that, and that's the most beautiful thing I can think of. So
And it's so funny you say about the cage because I always tell the kids it's an open cage. You
yeah,
just look in the wrong way, turn around, walk out.
Well, they tell us not to look where the door is. They push it. They
Yeah.
get mad at us when
Yeah.
we look in that direction, and we just have to
Yeah.
overcome that, and you're empowering people to do that. Beautiful.
Yeah. Because I even the elderly, a lot of our elderly feel like, they don't have a voice anymore, or this world isn't theirs anymore. Baby, you're still here. You're still
Yes.
breathing,
Yes.
right? This is still your world.
Mhm.
I appreciate that you wanna step back and have younger people do a lot of stuff, but you're still paying taxes, you know? If at some point in time you stop paying taxes and you're like, "You know what? I'm done. I've done it all." I can understand that, but if you're still paying taxes, it's still your world.
Yeah.
You still live in it. You still have a voice.
Mhm.
And I don't want anyone to ever feel like, their voice isn't worthy of a conversation. Every single voice. I talk to numerous homeless people, unhomed people, they like to be called now. I talk to numerous unhomed people, and they're always shocked, like, "Why are you talking to me? When you go buy something, you pay taxes, right? This where we're standing right now is America. You have a voice." Like, I've never voted a day in my life. You don't have to vote for me, but your voice is gonna be heard. You know what I'm saying? And I like to talk to kids before they get to the age of voting to make sure that they understand no matter where they stand. You could be a Republican, you could be a hardcore conservative, but you have to understand that, wherever you stand, your voice has to be heard. People have to sorry.
That's life, and that's what I love.
I think
I've
I
talked
I
to so
told
many
my
people.
kids I told my kids I was on, and now they're like, whatever, I don't care.
And oh, it's all
My
right.
kids are just like, "Mom, bring this up." No,
Oh,
I'm not
good.
gonna
They're
bring up
watching.
everything.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's wonderful.
And so, but I tell kids before they're able to, vote, make sure wherever you stand that you are doing the absolute best. Good God, girl. You are doing the absolute best for humanity.
Yeah.
You don't have to believe in the things I believe in. You don't have to understand the things and live the life that I lived, because America didn't treat you like America treated me. But you have to do what is absolute best for humanity, not just you. You have to think about the older people that are at death's door, right? You have to think about the newborn baby that is being born having a stroke. You have to think of the healthcare system. You have to think of the environment. You have to think of the military member who is 18 who just joined the military and is getting ready to go to war the week after he gets out of AIT,
Mm.
haven't had a child,
Mm,
haven't done anything, isn't old enough to drink, isn't old enough to smoke a cigarette, but he's about to put his life on the line and may not come home. We have to think about everybody. This world is never just about us, it's about all of us.
absolutely. Did you remember, Natasha, what you were gonna ask or something
I
else?
did, I did. You helped jog my memory. I just wanted to, I guess, now piggyback on what you said in regard to not taking any money at all. And, just giving a voice and purpose to people with disabilities and people who, children who might not have an opportunity to do something like this otherwise. And regardless of how far you get, I hope you win. But regardless of how far you get, I think that how far you've gotten will be a testament to showing people that you don't need money.
Mhm.
As far as you push the needle with this, it's going to start making a case for other people. Why do we need this much money? It's going to raise questions across the board. So
Yeah.
I love that you're doing this. I hope it pushes that movement because it shouldn't cost $100 or
Yeah.
$3,000 or whatever, to run. I feel like money shouldn't be an issue. It shouldn't stop somebody who is fully capable of doing the job, but maybe can't raise the funds
Yes.
or, it's fundraising is a scary thing. So I just want you to know, like, I love that you're doing this and it's I think it's going to make positive waves,
Yes.
however it turns out.
Thank you.
You should
And
send the
also,
text. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
oh no, I was gonna say, and also, don't be afraid of you not being championed by your heroes in the race.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
because
Yeah.
people don't back up your ideas, your ideologies, and you need them, you don't need anybody. You don't need any voice. Your
Right.
voice is enough. You push the needle the way you want to. I wanted to, from the very beginning of my campaign, I said I didn't want endorsements from anybody. I don't want their money. This is a people's campaign, and not honestly not people. This is a children, a disabled and elderly campaign. Everybody else can run, but I want people. I want everybody that is deemed the underdogs in society to actually have a voice. We don't have
Yeah.
to win. We won. We
Yeah.
already won.
Yep.
Because it gave people who felt like they were um voiceless a reason to get up every day. Like, we're going out there and my campaign, I'm like, okay, kid, don't tell your parents I said this, but we're gonna kick some ass.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, don't
Well,
say that out loud, but kick some tail when it's like, okay, we're not old school. We can say the A
yes.
word. I was like, obviously you can't, because you can't even say it. No. It's so much fun working with the people that I work with. It is so much fun because it gives them purpose. They're happy, they're ecstatic, they're erratic.
Yeah.
I don't have a firing. I don't ever have to fire anybody. If you come out, come out. If you can't, you can't. I mean, there's been plenty of times I've gone places by myself because nobody, it was during school time or events and people are in different programs after school. And so a lot of events, I show up, by myself, and I always tell every kid, you're part of my campaign. And it doesn't matter how you feel, Republican, Democrat, moderate, in between. It doesn't matter. When you're a kid and you want to get into this policy stuff and you want to learn how this works, you're already hired.
Perfect.
Your enthusiasm is enough.
And who was it? Paul just said in the chat how Congress, all they do is fundraise. They don't even work for us once they get elected. It's like
Yeah.
constant fundraising all the time. I just lost my camera
Yeah.
so I could see. And I was gonna say, you should send out the text message being like, "Hey, I don't want any donation because everybody's so tired of getting all these." And we know so many of the people in
Yeah.
Congress have enriched themselves, and
Oh, yeah.
the Republicans are worse, but the Democrats are just as bad. It's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
irritating when you get a guy who's, sitting on a $200 million fortune. They made at our expense, and they want another $15 from us when they've done nothing to prevent the price of, inflation.
Mhm.
Exactly.
I was
I
just gonna
I
say,
one of my campaign policies is the only money I'll accept when I win, I'm claiming it. When I win is the 175,000 that is my paycheck and not one more penny. And 50,000 of that is going into the charities, which are disability, elderly.
yes,
So I've already
understood.
promised 50,000 to different charities. And so, I mean, what do I need?
Beautiful.
What do I need? I'm a
Yeah,
mom. My husband takes care of me. I'm good. I'm moving to a smaller house right now.
yeah.
Um, I don't want for anything, but I do want everybody to have a great life. That's one
Oh,
of the biggest things that I want. I want everybody to have a great life. I had a life full of laughs, parties, good times, babies being born. I had that and I want everybody to have a good life, and I don't feel like that's far fetched. I don't feel like that's so extreme and out there to want people to wake up happy every single day
yeah.
and not worry about things like healthcare. Do I have enough money to send my kids to school so they can eat and not be embarrassed? Um, One of the biggest things that my district we're doing, my business is doing, is we're trying to raise enough money next year that we pay for everybody's lunch in our district. So nobody has to worry about that. And we're doing a shoe campaign and we're going to make sure that every kid has brand new shoes for school. So, we have a lot of big things in our district that we're doing, and I want to make sure that when kids wake up, they feel like they have a purpose every single day. Every single day. Every day you wake up, you got something to do.
Yeah.
Something to do, somewhere to go, someone to make happy.
I just wanna say the messaging is so great. I think if you just, because every day and I find a lot happens to me during the day, I sleep on it, and in the morning, I like to just kinda reflect on it, and I think if you got up in the morning and just were talking about these things and keep it ongoing, we can't say it one time, we have to say it every day.
Yeah.
I did
That's
6
Yeah.
right.
hours I did 6 hours worth of lives yesterday, it's just keep going on and on and on, and all the people I think will come. Yeah, we shouldn't our whole life shouldn't be beholden to this billionaire class where we never get
No.
anything in return. And all we have is the messaging. It's this extreme part of the media. We're way out because they don't want to pay any attention to us.
Yep.
I also want to say every candidate that is willing to talk to me has been just wonderful like you. It's like it's just so
Yay.
astonishing to me. And this one has really just lifted my heart and all these things that we could have, but together we are going to rise. We're going to
That's
overcome all
right.
this.
Absolutely.
And I just feel so empowered. You've inspired me today, so I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. And I feel like whoever our new class of Congress is going to be some of the most powerful people
Oh, yeah.
because they all have great messaging. I have never seen a class of Congress people who I were even more proud of. They're not accepting APAC money.
Good.
They're pro everybody. They understand that it's never about me, it's us, which is the best thing that anybody could ever say. It's never about me, it's all about us. Um, and we all pretty much are on the same thing. We need universal health care.
Yeah,
Kids should not still be paying for lunch. Y- uh,
yeah.
One of the kids had brought up to me, it's an old sin, and I was so shocked, but of course I knew he was raised by his grandma by the way he said that. He was like, "We are as strong as our weakest link." Right? And we don't have any weak links in America.
Beautiful. Y Final thoughts, Natasha? We're coming up on time. We got a few more minutes though, but Natasha?
Yeah. No, I just again, this has been really refreshing. I just I think that everything that I've heard right now is just great. And, I guess maybe I'm biased because I'm talking to you right now, but you made me cry. Your thoughtfulness, your
S
empathy, your showing emotion. This is what we need, because this is humanity,
Yes.
and that's what we are meant to do is live and breathe and show emotions and feelings, and trying to restrict all that is just really sad. So, um, I appreciate that you're doing this and refusing to take money. I appreciate that you're, taking a stand against that and being kind of like a guinea pig somewhat, because I don't know many other candidates that are doing this. Um, but it's just everything that you're doing is great. And, that is what socialism is not being self, uh, whatever, full of yourself and self-centered. It's being, thinking about other people. And I think once people understand that, like, the things that you're saying are socialism, and that's a great thing because these things that you mentioned, putting money towards disabled communities and elderly communities and, people that are lacking resources and have been, forgotten and erased more and more as the years go by, giving them back, their autonomy and their, power and strength, is going to make us all stronger. Like when we all do better, we do better. And you're just a great example of that. So I'm really rooting for you. And again, for anybody that wants to help, I'm going to just go ahead and post the link in here again. Um, but it's been an amazing
Yeah.
conversation, and, it's given me a lot of hope and, a lot of things to think about. And, um,
Yeah.
I definitely want to connect later on. So I'll be messaging you.
Oh,
Okay,
wonderful.
thank you.
Yeah.
I
And
look forward to it.
Yes.
I just wanna say too, and like, I used to run marathons just for fitness, and one of the things you learn is it's not the finish line, it's every mile is a victory and every aid station and the people you talk to, you got to celebrate every little bit. And I just want to emphasize that your choices that you've made in this campaign are a victory and talking to us today is a victory. And it's not going to end, because a life is the marathon. We're going to keep going and we're on it. We're on it. We're on it. And it's like,
Yes.
so it's just whatever happens in the primary happens, whatever happens in the midterms happen. And this is our mission, and we're gonna
Yes, it
continue to do this
is.
until everybody has all
That's
these things
right.
that you talk, because it's just human rights, and we just have
Yep.
to change, and changing the conversation is the first step, and that happens by having these conversations, and all these wonderful people here in the chat, they're gonna start following you. You keep sharing your stories on Substack. This is a nice platform for this. This is a good community. You could even set up a camera and do live streams when you're talking to people.
Yeah,
You could do things
Substack
like
is
that.
new for me, so I'm learning it.
It'll work, and we are your resource to learn how to do it more. So, again, thank you so much for being here. What are your last thoughts or last things you wanna say?
So I want to thank you again, thank you so much for having me on here. It was so lovely to meet you, Natasha. And I always want
And
to
me too, I
say,
hope.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, you were absolutely wonderful.
Just like,
Absolutely
no.
wonderful. I appreciate you. I want to say, no matter what happens, we won. No matter
Yes.
what happens,
Yeah.
the tides have turned.
Yes.
Um, you're not going to go
Here.
wrong with the new Congress, okay? Please, no, from moving here forward, think about the children, especially the disabled children. Think about the elderly.
Yeah.
Go out into neighborhoods. Go to social media. Ask people, how can I help you? How can I be a better neighbor to you? Go to school meetings and say, hey, how do I volunteer to help the disabled kids in school resources? Ask the police officers, hey, who is the worst neighborhood? Who has a lot of gang members and stuff like that? Go become a mentor. Even if you don't feel like you have a voice,
Mm,
there are kids that are neurodivergent that need you. There are disabled kids that need you. There are disabled adults that need you.
Yep.
Please go out and be better than the person you woke up being today.
yeah. Yeah, you
That's
feel
it.
good.
That's
It'll
it.
make you feel good, yeah. Oh, that was beautiful. So much love. Thank you. Good luck,
Thank
and, yeah,
you.
we'll be talking again. Love to
Yes.
everybody
Okay.
in the chat.
It's great
Always
meeting
Bye,
you.
everybody. Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
bye-bye.